right, looking at problem number 1 on your paper, it looks like this. Okay, I'm going to teach you slightly different. You're going to be in control. Tell me what you know about this. It's a 30, 60, 90. Okay? What else? Oh, come on. First period was able to come up with like 5 facts. It's a right triangle. There's a short leg and a long leg. Come on. Tie it into some things that we've been learning. Cosine, who said that? Great. Okay, so because this angle's given, this is going to be theta, and you said cosine, right? So if I want to find x, I'm going to use cosine, right? Now, technically, because it's a right triangle, you guys could have used Pythagorean theorem. But if I only give you one side, this is when you're going to have to use the trig. So let's practice. Okay, so cosine 30 equals x over 6. 6 times the cosine of 30 equals x. No calculators. Hand trick. Cosine of 30, what is it? Okay, now 6 and 2 are plane numbers. 6 and 2 are plane numbers, so I can do regular math. What's 6 divided by 2? 3. So 3, the square root of 3 is the answer. Problem done. Except for the problem is when I say I want the answer in radical and no calculators, you're going to be in trouble. All right. So let's look at an example. Number 5. Skip to number 5, please. Okay. This time I have 2 missing pieces. Okay? All right. So, write me an equation that would help me find x. Sine of 30 equals x over 6. 6 times the sine of 30 degrees equals x. Hand trick. What's the sine of 30? What's the sine of 30? 1 over 2. So 6 times a half is 3. X equals 3. Okay? Yes, ask your question. I'm going to use cosine to find y. If this is theta, the angle given is always going to be theta. Yep. All right, so now, Stephen, what is the equation for y? Cosine of 30 equals y over 6. 6 times the cosine of 30, using the hand trick, 6 times square root of 3 over 2. 6, how did I confuse you? Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking about a coordinate grid. I was just thinking of 2 variables. Sorry. So then this ends up being 3 the square root of 3. Problem done. Okay? I'm going to give you 6 minutes. I would like you to do problems 2, 3, and 4. Okay, I'm still going to do it the long way. I know some of you have figured out the shortcut, or you remember from geometry the shortcut. Okay, and in some cases it's helpful, in some cases it's not. I'm on number 2. Number 2 is 5. Sorry. 5. We have 45 down here, and we are looking for x, and we are looking for y. So if this is theta, opposite over hypotenuse is sine. So sine of 45 equals 5 over x. Now, if you think back to that silly video that I showed you getting triggy with it, my variable's in the denominator, so I need to swap. So 5 over the sine of 45 equals x. Doing the hand trick, I get the square root of 2 over 2. So this is really 5 divided by the square root of 2 over 2. I wrote it out the long way so you could see what I'm going to do next. Remember, division is simply multiplying by the reciprocal. So 5 times 2 over the square root of 2 gives me 10 over the square root of 2. Now, this is an acceptable answer. It is not the best answer. Somewhere along the line, your teacher should have taught you about rationalizing the denominator. So, I need to multiply the top and the bottom by the square root of 2. Okay? Square root of 2 times square root of 2 is 2. So 10 the square root of 2 over 2. What is 10 divided by 2? 5. So you could have had this, but eventually we need to get to this. Okay? All right, so this is adjacent over and opposite. I have adjacent and opposite. By the way, okay, time out. Okay, so we're going to use tangent. So tangent of 45 equals 5 over y. So y equals 5 divided by the tangent of 45, which is simply 1. So y equals 5 divided by 1, which is 5.